and welcome to another edition of Focus St. Charles County. I am Scott Drochnik. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, our focus is going to be on a variety of departments within St. Charles County government. The first one we're going to take a look at is the Executive Department. Here to tell us all about it is St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman.
Well, the role of the Executive Department is very similar to the role of the executive branches in the state and the federal government. As you know, the legislative branch is there to make the laws. In Washington, D.C. and Jefferson City, we have a county council that makes the rules. They pass ordinances as to how we are to conduct ourselves in the executive branch. But then it's up to the executive branch, the executive departments, over which I'm the head, to go ahead and enforce those rules, those ordinances, those speed limits, those health regulations. The other role, of course, that I play is I have the power to veto those ordinances if I disagree with them, and then the council can override my veto. But basically, we're the branch of government that enforces the rules. And then, of course, the third branch is the judicial branch. And when people disagree with us about how we're enforcing the rules or whether they're guilty or innocent of a particular rule violation, then that is ultimately decided by a judge in our municipal court or a judge in the circuit court down the hill. Within the executive branch of county government, of course, there are several elected offices. The assessor, the collector, the sheriff, the director of elections, they are all elected to do their job. Since they're elected directly by the people, those of us in my office can't tell them how to do their particular job. They are subject, however, to the county's personnel policies. There's various rules and regulations established by the council and enforced by our office that they're subject to. But this office cannot tell them how to do the job that they were elected to do. We can't tell them how to assess property. We can't tell them how to collect the revenue. We can't tell them how to provide security at the jail or run an election. But the people who work for them are under the charter, have the same protections, are under the merit system. And that was an important development in the charter, because before those jobs were largely patronage jobs. And when a new person got elected to office, they'd bring in all their people who helped them get elected sometimes, and get rid of the people who were there. We now have a merit system. Even though we continue to elect those people, they have to deal with the people who have been hired, and the only way they can get rid of them is to show cause. So they're not totally independent when it comes to running their office and employing their employees, but when they're making the decisions about how to assess or how to collect or how to run an election, that's entirely up to them. Now, the rest of the executive branch is made up with the directors of various departments: corrections, highways, community development. Those people are appointed by the county executive and approved by the county council. And they are my cabinet. They're the people who basically run the various departments. They're the ones who are more likely to deal with constituents on a day-to-day basis. And we have a very good team of people in those various positions. As I said before, I've got a great team, and it starts right here in my office and the people right down the hall. Joanne Lycum is the Director of Administration. She was county counselor for 18 years. She is tops. When I was on the court as a judge, I thought she was one of the best lawyers that ever appeared in front of me. And having worked with her now for the last 10 years, I'm convinced that she is. And her administrative abilities have matched her legal abilities. And she just does a great job of running the county on a day-to-day basis. Under her are Jennifer George and Don Bamer. And they have various departments and have various responsibilities. But Don is one of those people who everybody knows and respects. And he's sort of been in charge of communications and relations with the cities and the various other political subdivisions. He's one of the main reasons we were able to put the deal together to finish Phase 3, got the cities to cooperate with us in doing the funding and so forth. Jennifer has done an absolutely marvelous job on the interoperable radio system, which is going into effect as we speak. She's been here now for, I think, 6 years. In the meantime, she took time out to go get a law degree at nights at St. Louis University. She has a tremendous future, does a super job. And then last but certainly not least, and in many ways first, Vicki Heisman, who's my administrative assistant, who has worked with me in my various jobs here, beginning when I became a senator back in 1992. And she basically runs the place, as you know, and she keeps me moving in the right direction, gets me to the right place at the right times, make sure that I have the right documents in front of me when I'm talking to someone, and is very good at giving advice, and very much respect her opinion on everything dealing with government, because she has been in the trenches, so to speak. When I was in the Senate, she was the person back in St. Charles that dealt with the constituents. She was the person who went to the Chamber of Commerce meetings. She was the one who really got to know everybody and kept me connected, even when I was in Jefferson City. And she continues to do that today. She's just a super person. If people have questions about county government, please call us. You can find the information on our website, and we will try to get back to you with the answers to your questions.
Thank you so much, County Executive Ellman, and we appreciate all the hard work. Well, folks, now we're going to talk about one of the newer departments in St. Charles County government, and that's the Office of Emergency Communications. This office is responsible for deploying and operating the new countywide emergency radio communication system.
The Office of Emergency Communications was established in 2011, and it consists of 4 employees who work to identify a vendor for the new emergency radio communications system, and also work to implement the system, and will work to manage and operate the system when it's complete. The county's new emergency radio communications system is part of a larger system being implemented concurrently in St. Louis and Jefferson counties. For the first time ever, first responders, municipalities in St. Charles County are able to talk to one another through the system. Before, each municipality and first responder agency operated their own systems, which were not able to talk to one another. Also, our first responders and municipalities will be able to talk with St. Louis and Jefferson counties through the system, which increases the capability of response and public safety for the entire St. Louis metropolitan area in the event of a major disaster or an event. In addition to those benefits, the system has improved coverage, especially in the more rural areas of the county, and also has better voice clarity. Before, the systems had coverage gaps and voice clarity issues, and were also unable to be updated to meet mandates from the FCC that went into effect in 2013. So there's a lot of benefits to public safety with this new system. There will be over 3,000 users on the system, and that includes police officers, firefighters, EMS, and even park rangers. The new emergency radio communication system represents a significant transformation in public safety in St. Charles County. If you call 911, you talk to a dispatcher who then uses the emergency radio system to communicate with the first responders, and then the first responders are able, through the system, to communicate with one another. It will allow for faster, more efficient response for our citizens because they are able to communicate more quickly and thoroughly with one another. Just, more improved public safety throughout the community. The county and its 20 municipalities have worked for several years on bringing the system to fruition, and it's an exciting time for our residents and an exciting time for public safety in our community. If you go to our website at www.sccmo.org and type emergency radio communications system in the search field, you'll be directed to a page which features more information about the system.
Folks, we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the Juvenile Justice Center as well as renovations at Smart Field Airport.
Bethany Ann Doak, Ian Donnelly, Kirsty Lynn Duthitt.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs, just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back to Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drochnick, and we're continuing to take an in-depth look at a variety of departments within St. Charles County government. Some of us may be familiar with the adult corrections system or court system, but what about juvenile justice? Here to tell us all about the Juvenile Justice Center is the Chief Juvenile Officer, Ken Simmons.
The Juvenile Justice Center is the facility in St. Charles County that processes all of the juvenile delinquency type cases, the status offenses, and the child dependency cases. So any law violation involving a juvenile under the age of 17 is processed here. And all of the children that are referred for abuse and neglect type matters are also processed here. The purpose of the Juvenile Justice Center is to process all of those referrals that are provided to us regarding child abuse, neglect, status offenses, which include runaways, truants, and curfew violations and law violations. So we act according to Missouri statute and Supreme Court rules to process these cases in an appropriate manner. One bit of information that I would like to convey to everyone is that the deputy juvenile officers are mandated by statute to act in the best interest of a child. So the deputy juvenile officers are mandated to work towards rehabilitation with the juveniles, to provide services to the juveniles and families and help them resolve the negative issues that are having an impact on their families. We receive referrals from both law enforcement and schools. All law violations are referred to us via a police report and information provided by law enforcement. We also receive referrals from schools for truancy and educational neglect type issues. And finally, we receive referrals from the Children's Division. And these are the referrals in which allegations of abuse or neglect are raised. The Juvenile Justice Center has a courtroom. It has obviously waiting rooms, conference rooms, classrooms, and it has offices for all the deputy juvenile officers, and it also has a detention center. Our detention center is a 32-bed facility, and it's in the back of the facility, or the back of the building. If anyone wants to find out more information regarding the St. Charles County Juvenile Justice Center, they can look us up on the internet, on the Office of State Courts Administrators website, and follow the links to the 11th Judicial Circuit, or they can simply call 949-3040 and they can ask for me, Ken Simmons.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate the information. Well, folks, now we want to talk about one of the departments that's something of a hidden gem. It's the Smart Field Airport. It's located north of Newtown, about 15 minutes from all the shopping and attractions in historic St. Charles and less than 30 minutes from St. Louis. And there have been a variety of renovations happening out there lately. Here to tell us more about those renovations, along with services and amenities, is Dennis Wiss, the director of Smart Field Airport.
Smart Field is located in Portage-de-Sioux. We are right off of Grafton Ferry Road and Highway 94, about 10 miles from downtown St. Charles. Smart Field has a number of different entities and businesses going on, ranges from the Commemorative Air Force. They've got the B-25 and their TBM Avenger. They've also got a great little museum with a lot of World War II and Korean, Vietnam era memorabilia. It's a great little museum. Ozark Airlines has a alumni association out here. We've got Skylink Aviation, St. Charles Flying Service. They both do flight instruction, aircraft repair, aircraft maintenance. So it's a pretty busy little airport out near the river. We have a number of different users at Smart Field. We've got 92 hangars that people can store their airplanes in. We actually have about 110, 120 based aircraft, single engine aircraft, twin engine aircraft, and that's just the local people. But we've got tenants that live in Creve Coeur, Alton, so our tenants are not just St. Charles County people. They literally come from all over. Our advantage is we don't have the air traffic, we don't have air traffic control, so it's real easy to fly in and out. We get a lot of people flying in and out from Troy, Illinois. People just come in and out because it's an easy airport to fly in and out of. They do a lot of practice training out here, and quite frankly, with the river being so close, it's a beautiful area to fly over. We started our renovations back in October, and basically two real reasons for it. Number one, we don't have drinkable water out here. Our well went bad. DNR shut it down, so we have no drinking water. And for a public facility to not have drinking water, that's just not a good thing. So we petitioned the state and the FAA for some funding to A, get us a new well and drinking water, and then B, go ahead and do some renovations to the terminal itself. So we've been doing a lot. We did some structural repairs that were much needed. The floors were settling, flooring, wall coverings, ceilings. I mean, basically, from what it was in October to today, it's a brand new building. I think the airport is kind of a hidden jewel in St. Charles County. There is so much to offer out here. We've got so much land available, and when it's a nice day and the airplanes are flying, it's just a great place to come out and sit and watch the airplanes. There's certainly a number of events through the year. The Commemorative Air Force Museum is open through the week, so by all means, I'd invite anyone to come out to the airport to see what's available and to see the new building. If people were interested in learning more about Smart Field and the different amenities, they can call the airport office, area code 636-949-1893, or certainly go to the St. Charles County website, and the airport does have its own page there.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Appreciate all the information. Folks, we're going to take a quick little break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about the Auditor and the Collector of Revenue departments, so don't go away.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. And now she's holding on for dear life. Her kids can see she may have broke her knees. They still love her though she looks like she's attacked by killer bees. I'm allergic. Proof you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Welcome back to Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drochnik, and today we're continuing to look at various departments in St. Charles County government. Up next is a collector of revenue. You know, when we pay our annual taxes to the county, a lot of times we think all of that's for county government, when in fact just a smidgen is, and the rest is being collected for various taxing jurisdictions here in the community. Here to tell us more about that, as well as how you can pay your tax bill, is Michelle McBride, the collector of revenue for St. Charles County.
The St. Charles County Collector of Revenue is responsible for collecting the property taxes and dispersing it back out to the political subdivisions. We try to make paying taxes as easy as possible for the citizens. You can mail your payment, and we go by the date of postmark from the United States Post Office. You can come into the office and pay at the cashier windows. We have a drop box out on the street. You can pay online. We have 2 different websites, one which is backed by PayPal, the other which is backed by Official Payments Corporation, which is the company the IRS uses for income taxes, or by an interactive voice response, better known as a toll-free 800 number. The Collector of Revenue Office has several state laws that it is bound to uphold. So when late payment penalty and interest is added to a bill, it's not something that we have the discretion to just remove. It can be very frustrating for a taxpayer, especially if you just accidentally wrote the check wrong. A difference between the numbers and the words will cause a problem with the payment, because by law we have to go by the written out words on a check. And it happens, unfortunately, that you will write the right amount in the box with numbers but the wrong amount in words, and then whatever is shorted in those words ends up as a late payment in January for a lot of people. The Collector of Revenue website actually lists all of the taxes paid for several years back, and you can break it down to each individual entity that receives the taxes. You can see how much goes to the state, how much goes to the County General Revenue Fund, how much goes to the school district in which you're located, the fire district, the city, the ambulance district, all those different public services that your tax dollars help to fund. Real estate reassessments happen every other year in the odd-numbered years in the state of Missouri. And in those years, everyone receives a projected tax liability notice. So around April, maybe early May, every citizen who owns real estate in the county should receive a notice of reassessment and a projected tax liability notice to give you some idea of what your taxes will be in December. It's very important for people to understand that everyone gets a copy of the real estate tax bill. If you own real estate in St. Charles County, we send you a copy of the statement so that you can see where your tax dollars are going and what they are funding. Even if you escrow your taxes, you will get a tax statement. You don't need to submit a payment. You may want to verify it against your escrow statement to make sure that the mortgage company is pulling the right amount. It's the individual taxpayer's responsibility to make sure they get a bill. The state law says failure to receive does not relieve you from paying the bill on time. And if it's paid on or after January 1st, there are statutory late payment penalty and interest that must be added to the bill. So I like to remind people, if you're a citizen in the state of Missouri, there are 3 very important dates. March 1st to file your personal property assessment form, and those will be mailed out later in January. April 15th to pay your income taxes, and December 31st to pay your property taxes. If you don't have a property tax bill by Christmas, when people are sitting around talking about them, sometimes that happens, then call the office, go to the website, and make sure that you have the information so you can pay before December 31st and save yourself any late payment penalty or interest. When it comes to questions about your tax bill, it really depends on what the question is. If you have forgotten to list a vehicle or a trailer or a motorcycle or a boat, something of that nature on your personal property tax bill, you need to contact the assessor's office first, because they are responsible for those items listed on the tax bill. If you're concerned about how much money a certain entity is getting, you would want to contact that entity because they each set their own tax rate. If the question is, I didn't get my receipt, I misplaced my receipt, that's the type of question that would be directed to the Collector of Revenue office.
Michelle, thank you so much for that helpful information about the Collector of Revenue Department. Well, folks, I'm going to say a word that's going to make some of you cringe, and that's the word auditor. But really, when we talk about St. Charles County and the auditing department, it's a whole different ball of wax. The St. Charles County Auditor's Department takes care of internal reviews. They work with the elected officials, the county executive, the department heads, and all of the other folks in St. Charles County government to help bring about efficiency. They do independent analysis, provide recommendations, and look at things to keep the assets safe and secure and bring about more speedy delivery of services. Here to tell us more about it is St. Charles County Auditor Brent Statler.
St. Charles County Auditors is the internal audit function for county government. We evaluate the internal control environment and work environment for each audit function. We use the International Institute of Internal Auditors International Standards for Professional Practice for Internal Auditing, the Statement of Responsibilities for Auditors, and their Code of Ethics. The standards include ensuring independence of the audit function, managing the audit function, performing an audit, planning the audit, and communicating the audit results. The county auditor's position is an appointed position to a 4-year term by the St. Charles County Council. Some of our responsibilities here at the St. Charles County Auditor's Office includes we have to develop an audit plan which determines which audits we're going to conduct each year. We have a 4-year audit cycle, but we update our audit plan annually. We conduct audits for all county departments, offices, contracts, and operations of county government. A typical audit process includes planning an audit, documenting internal controls of each function of the audit area that we're reviewing, testing those controls by reviewing documents and so forth, and then reporting the results to that department or contract. County auditors' responsibilities include we develop the audit plan. We also prepare written audit reports. We ensure compliance with operating procedures and policies, as well as laws and regulations. We verify the existence of fixed assets. And we also do follow-up reviews of any observations noted in the audit reports. The county auditor's webpage includes our responsibilities and function. You can obtain issued audit reports. And you can also report any suspected fraud or misuse of county resources. And you can do that anonymously either through the website. You can also, we have a dedicated phone line that a message can be left, or through email. We also have a list of who to contact if you think you have an issue that's outside our purview of who to contact. If you need more information, you can contact myself, Brent Statler. I am the county auditor, through our main phone line. You can also contact my assistant county auditor, Kevin Dillon. You can do that through our phone line, email, or through the county website.
Okay. Brent, we appreciate all the information and all the hard work that everybody in the auditor department is doing for St. Charles County. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this particular episode. Thank you for being with us and learning more about various departments in St. Charles County government, and we hope that you'll join us again. Until then, I'm Scott Drochnik, and see you again soon with Focus on St. Charles County.